I think it's very important that we put the whole conversation in context because really there's quite a lot of misinformation that is out there. And when you pander to misinformation for a long time, it starts sounding like the truth, and it's very important that we clear that. What we have currently is 30,000, which is the national minimum wage. And I want to go into the context and to the scope of what is the wage or what is the salary, because there are two different contexts. And also what is a minimum wage and what is a living wage. They are both different concepts. And the moment we don't clarify that from the beginning of our conversation, then we start unconsciously taking both contexts to be the same thing. So currently we have the 30,000, which is the national minimum wage, which was agreed in 2019 by the tripartite. It was a long negotiation, a long protracted negotiation in 2018 to 2099. And eventually the committee came up with 30,000, although one or two stakeholders affirmed then that look, they cannot meet up with 30,000. But because it was a consensus and the committee needed to wrap up its work, make a recommendation to the president, 30,000 was agreed, which was due for implementation. Then the law was amended, and then we had the 2019 National Minimum Wage Act, which to a large extent, apart from some few states that were not implemented, which was in operation until last year. It was supposed to end this year in April, and we are supposed to commence negotiation for a new national minimum wage, which we started through the inauguration of the committee in January by the vice president. So for us, it's 30,000. Is it due for review? Absolutely. Is 30,000 still relevant? Is it still does it still meet the needs, the current needs? Absolutely not. What exactly should the figure be? There are a lot of variables to it. It's not a 2 plus 2 equals 4 kind of conversation. But a lot of variables that comes into the issue of exactly how do we arrive at that minimum wage. Just like a woman that wants to cook a pot of soup, you bring in so many condiments and you have to create a balance. The quantity of salt, the quantity of water, the quantity of Maggi. You have to ensure you get a balance. If you don't get that balance, the soup will probably be messed up. So what the committee is currently doing, I think the key work of the committee is to arrive at that balance of arriving at a minimum wage that is fair, a minimum wage that is affordable, and a minimum wage that guarantees sustainability of enterprises. Those are the issues.
What are the variables that they are considering now concerning arriving at what is appropriate? Let's say.
Now, the concept of the national minimum wage itself is not our concept. It's a global concept.
It is. Yeah.
So we subscribe to the convention, as a nation, the convention that propped up the issue of national minimum wage. That's Convention 131 of the ILO. And we're a very strong constituent of the ILO. And Convention 131 specified certain conditionalities. So you must look at the needs of workers and their families. You must look at the economic situation, because the foundation basically of what you get and the value of what you get rests on the economic situation. If the economy is booming, then your 1 naira can probably buy you a lot more goods. If the economy is not doing so well, your 1,000 naira might not buy you much. So the foundation basically is the economic situation. Then you must look at the sustainability of enterprises. It must be sustainable. You must bring in the variable of the cost of living. You must bring in productivity. So, and all these variables, to different stakeholders, they mean different things. To the worker or to the household, inflation rate means something. Mm-hmm. To the business, interest rate means something else. To the business, cost of forex means something else. To the worker, cost of living means something else. To the government, it means something else. So the three parties, the social partners as we call them, or the tripartite, must now bring in their whole variables, their whole issues into the table, and then that is when the negotiation starts. So you view the whole context from my perspective, I view the whole context from your perspective, and then we all agree, yes, in view of this current situation, of the economic situation, the needs of workers, and the need for sustainability of enterprises. Okay, this is what the minimum wage should be like, and that conversation, I think, we probably will start today at the committee level.
Well, it's not like it's starting; it's continuing after Labour walked out of the initial.
Now the workout, I think we should also put it in proper perspective.
Okay.
Because the plan or the agenda, the committee is also, I think, is composed of very respected individuals, both from Labour, the employers, government, and other stakeholders. And each party was to submit its own proposal. So Labour submitted its own proposal, which is valid to the extent of Labour's reality. 615,000, that's already the news. Employers submitted their own proposal of 54,000, which is also valid to the extent of the employer's realities. You can't question that. And government submitted its own proposal, which was 48,000, which probably is valid to the extent of government's realities. Now, the next push is to start the negotiation proper. After everybody have submitted their bids, it's now to start the negotiation or the review of those bids.